All right, so we will start. Um, okay, somebody rang the doorbell. I have to go get them. Whatever there is comfortable. Thank you so much. You don't have the fancy cushion, the square shaped, big mattresses. All right, so we will begin with our guided meditation. Please come to a resting position, and as you hear the gong, you may gently close your eyes. Bring a very gentle smile to your face, to your lips, to your heart, to your mind. Transcending any worries from today. Content about the present moment. Please apply awareness. Strengthen your attention to awareness, or just be aware of what is happening in your six sense faculties. Basically, eyes are closed, no seeing is happening. Sounds come and go. Smells may come and go. Tastes, you may not be experiencing anything with your tongue. Your body with the skin is perhaps occasionally actively taking some space from your attention for things that you feel, heat, itching, pain. Whenever you experience difficulty, pain arising, you may change your posture mindfully, quietly, and lovingly toward yourself to feel better, feel comfortable, and come back to your sitting, to your object of meditation. Now, seeing happens mentally at this moment. Mind eye begins to see you seated or in a chosen meditation posture where you feel at ease and comfortable. You have let go of the past, let go of being aware of the future, thoughts involving the future, letting go of overthinking, just being here and now. Any thought that arises is happening now without getting entangled in any of those thoughts. You are gently aware and also notice from your mind's eye how quickly things arise and disappear, and new things arise and disappear. All these are experienced in your mind domain. Mind as your faculty, mind as your thought base, mind where consciousnesses arise and pass away, are essentially various ways that our human life is experienced and felt and known to us. Whatever is only felt based on what your mind can tell. In other words, we meet people as we are, not as they are. Whatever our mind perceived of them is what we know. In general, we never experience an outside world. We experience what our mind translates into our domain of knowing, and that is the only knowledge we have. Only when you are conscious fully on something, it is known to you. Whether it is in the mind, through sense faculties, it is all experienced through the mind. Mind is where we live. We take our mind home, whether it is healthy or unhealthy, in every place we go. What if we apply the awakening factor of mindfulness, Sati Sambojjhanga, awakening factor of mindfulness, an aspect of enlightenment into this experience? The gatekeeper here is mindfulness, which can tell what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. Let us mindfully breathe in, mindfully breathe out, which is wholesome. What is great about it is that the breath is happening right now, not in the past, not in the future, and it has no color, no shape, mostly pleasant and neutral feelings, not unpleasant feelings. With each breath you take, notice the upper body moving gently, your shoulders, chest, abdomen, upper back. You are simply aware of the magic that is naturally evolving right here, right now. Sometimes the breath is long, sometimes the breath is short. Can you be aware of these changes that are happening naturally? The body is breathing, mind is just not doing anything, only being aware. So, this is in a way letting the body be and mind taking the controller away. Mind can have the bird eye view like a bird watching from the sky outside of the body. Notice these experiences of your breathing in and out. Other things come and go. The body is constantly breathing in and out. Now there is great insight. Whatever is felt is not your doing. It is the way the conditionality work. Things are dependently arisen and their cessation is obvious to you. That means sound forms and all the mental experiences arise and pass away. Nothing is permanent there. Everything arises quickly and they quickly vanish. You are not doing it. It is happening that way. For example, if you feel anxiety, it is the way things are right now. If you feel sleepy, it is the way things are right now. Amidst these experiences, you can cultivate loving kindness toward yourself and others. Be aware of compassion and cultivate unconditional joy, not jealousy, and equanimity. These are wholesome states that you can cultivate, and that is the proper way to meditate, to develop your mind. Mind is like your hand, it is another faculty. If something is tight to your hand, there is pain. In the same way, if there is something tied to your mind, there is pain. So releasing it is the mental effort that you put forward toward your freedom. It is by letting go, not by grasping, you arrive at greater mental contentment, happiness, and understanding. Now come back to your breathing. Look or scan your body. Notice any pain arising. Be willing to change your posture. Be comfortable with these movements. Come back to your object of meditation, that is your breathing, when you can. No need to compare yourself with others. That comparison is only a thought. That is not your doing. Another thought would be that you are now relieved from that pain and back in your meditation. That too is another thought, another experience. Notice mental experiences such as noticing sleepy mind, noticing doubtful mind, noticing mind with attachment, noticing restless mind, noticing angry mind. If you count, there are five: angry, restless, sleepy, doubtful, and attached. Releasing your mind, releasing these five from your mind brings greater happiness, greater awareness, greater freedom. Now let us look at the way to liberate your mind from these five mental occurrences. The moment you are mindful, you are free from most of these experiences. Coming back to your breath, you are guiding yourself toward mindfulness, away from those five mental experiences. Unless you are really sleepy, at which point you take a break, take a nap mindfully. It's a power nap, and then come back to your mind cultivation. Or you've eaten so much, or you have not eaten at all. Look after yourself by being aware what you actually truly need. Then you notice you eat just enough to come back to your meditation. Eat mindfully with no attachment, just enough for yourself, and that too is an act of meditation, to be free from the attachment toward food, to feed your mind with wholesome mindfulness. And now you are figuring out that life is meditation, meditation is life. We are beautiful expressions of this universe. When we are free from corrupted tendencies of the mind, this beauty emerge to the surface from the mud of the world, and what emerge is more fragranceful, delicate, open, and of the nature of Dhamma, of the nature of wisdom, of the nature of truth, and you stop fighting the truth. Instead of pushing away the truth, you know the true nature of things, how they arise in the moment, how they vanish in the moment, how that way your mind is at peace without controlling anything whatsoever. just by being aware and liberating your mind from the five corruptions and keeping it that way through effort, choosing loving kindness, and so on and so forth. Notice where your breath is. Your body is now breathing. You are just beautifully aware of it. Let the mind take delight in this experience of noticing your breath with no attachment, not rushing to go anywhere, just being here, fully content. The moment we want to be somewhere else, there is suffering. The moment you try to change the truth, there is suffering. We are human beings, we are not human doings. We unplug ourselves and take delight in this moment where life is happening, everything is happening without you controlling. Everything gets done. Unplugged, content, freed from the corruptions of the mind. You are a beautiful expression of this universe. I want to do a little reading today, and this reading is based on how um, infatuation works. This is what is this Nikaya? This is recorded in Udana. Uh, Udana, as Bhikkhu Sujato has translated, is heartfelt sayings. Uh, the Buddha had uh, these heartfelt sayings at different times based on the experiences he had then with his own life and meditation experiences and with others who progressed in meditation. So this is based on Nanda. Nanda was a prince, also the half brother of the Buddha. And the story goes as that Nanda was getting married on this day, and he was also getting ready to be the crown prince, and there was a palace built for him, and it was the day that he would walk into the palace, the house warming ceremony in our language. And on this day he invited his brother Buddha to receive an almsgiving, and the Buddha visited with 500 monks. There were many monks at the time, and this was also the way that Nanda could receive blessings from all the monks for this special day. But nobody knew that the Buddha would change their lives forever. And after having the meal, the Buddha decided to not receive the alms bowl from the hands of Nanda. Nanda may have asked his helpers to wash this bowl, and Nanda had it in his hand and went to give it to the Buddha. The Buddha silently walked from his seat, and now Nanda doesn't know what to do, and he walks behind the Buddha. And Nanda is thinking, oh, the Buddha would walk down the stairs and will look back and take this bowl from his hand. And no, the Buddha did not look. And Nanda is now thinking, oh, the Buddha would stop at the gate and at least say bye-bye and take the bowl. That did not happen. And now Nanda has to walk all the way to the monastery. And even at the gate of the monastery, the Buddha did not turn back, silently continued walking. And Nanda by then realized that the Buddha had other plans for him. And so at this point, monks and uh, the Buddha told Nanda, why don't you, renounce all this and consider being ordained? And the way they may have instructed him is like, Jahe mattan, Chaje mattan sukhang dhiro sampassang vipulan sukhang. Dhiro is a wise person. Otherwise, you are a foolish person. So a wise person abandons lesser happiness. Lesser happiness is royal happiness or happiness of getting married and all that. Or happiness of building a big house, big mansion and walking into it. Greater happiness is overcoming 5 hindrances and living your mind, your life with mindfulness. So Nanda was told these things and he was curious. He thought, okay, I can try this temporarily. Maybe I will try it. and I will go back when I am done with it. So temporarily he received ordination, thinking that he will go back and he will start all over again. Um, but when he tried to meditate, he could not meditate. He was thinking of the life he was going to have. This special image was bothering him so much, and we will find out what that image is. Okay, so this is the Nanda Sutta. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Sāvatthī in Jeta's grove, Anāthapiṇḍika's monastery. Now, at that time, Venerable Nanda, the Buddha's brother and maternal cousin, informed several monks, I lead this spiritual life dissatisfied. I am unable to keep up with the spiritual life. I shall resign the training and return to a lesser life. Lesser life is life as a lay person. Then a monk went up to the Buddha and informed about this. And the Buddha addressed the monks and asked them to go to Nanda and bring Nanda over to the Buddha. And Nanda came, and the Buddha asked, is it true that this is happening to you? And Nanda said, yes, Venerable Sir. And the Buddha asked this question, but why are you so dissatisfied with your life as a monk? And here is his response, the image that comes to his mind all the time. As I left my house, Venerable, the finest lady of the Sakyan land, her hair half combed, glanced at me and said, hurry back, honey, come back soon. Recalling that I am dissatisfied and shall resign this training. I don't want to meditate. And look what happens. Then the Buddha took Nanda by the arm, like grabbing here, as easily as a strong person would extend or contract their arm, like this, vanished from Jeta's grove and reappeared among the gods of the 33, so Sāvatthīn's heaven. Now at that time 500 dove-footed nymphs had come to attend to Sakka, the Lord of gods. So dove-footed nymphs, doves are the pigeons, and they had feet like that. The Pali word is kakuta padani. And having shown them, then the Buddha said to Nanda, Nanda, do you see these 500 dove-footed nymphs? Yes, sir. What do you think? Who is more attractive, good-looking, and lovely? The finest lady of the Sakyan land or these 500 dove-footed nymphs? Compared to these 500 dove-footed nymphs, the finest lady of the Sakyan land is like a deformed monkey with its ears and nose cut off. She doesn't count. There is no comparison. She is not worth a fraction. These 500 dove-footed nymphs are far more attractive, good-looking, and lovely. Rejoice, Nanda, rejoice. I guarantee you 500 dove-footed nymphs. If, sir, you guarantee me 500 dove-footed nymphs, I shall happily meditate. This is a nice bargain here. What I think here happening here is that when you develop your mind to the extent where you are free from the five hindrances. You develop it to a level that is somewhat heavenly, and you are able to experience heavenly happiness. And upon death, this highest experience you had as a living being guides you toward experiencing a heavenly, long lasting happiness experience of your mind, where you are born in Sāvatthī and you can experience a life, long span of life there, eons of happiness. Because what you do through meditation leads you in that direction. The Buddha sees a world outside of the world that we see, which is built or which has 31 planes of existence, which includes heavenly and hell realms. So Nanda is now guaranteed to get 500 dove-footed nymphs. And the Buddha vanished with Nanda there and reappeared in Jeta's grove. And monks heard this, and they said, "It seems Nanda, who is both the Buddha's half-brother and maternal cousin, leads the spiritual life for the sake of nymphs. He is meditating for heavenly happiness," which is not exactly why monks meditate. Monks have to have a greater goal, which is to be actually free from even heavenly pursuits here. It seems that the Buddha guaranteed him 500 dove-footed nymphs. These monks started to discuss. Monks who were his friends accused him of being hireling and a lackey. And so this is like Nanda is given this goal. Nanda felt embarrassed knowing that monks think like that of him, ashamed and disgusted at being called a hireling and a lackey, living alone, withdrawn, diligent, keen, and resolute, soon realized the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life. He lived having achieved with his own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life to homelessness. He understood rebirth is ended. The spiritual journey has been completed. What had to be done has been done. There is no return to any state of existence. You can now see, usually when a monk meditates, they are afraid of returning to hell realms. They are afraid of returning to any former experiences of living forever in a heavenly existence, almost forever, and missing their goal. So now Nanda has here and now realized the truth, and he became an arahant, perfected one. Then late at night, a glorious deity, lighting up the entire Jeta's grove, went up to the Buddha, bowed, stood to one side, and said to him, "Sir, Venerable Nanda, your half-brother and maternal cousin has realized the undefiled freedom of mind, freedom through wisdom in this very life. He lives having realized it with his own insight, and he has ended defilements." And the Buddha also knew this. Then, when the night had passed, Nanda went to the Buddha, bowed and sat down to one side, and said to the Buddha, "Sir, you guaranteed me 500 dove-footed nymphs. I released you from that promise. Nanda, I comprehended your mind and knew you did that. You had realized the undefiled freedom of heart, freedom through wisdom, and also deities have informed me about this. As soon as your mind was freed from defilements by not grasping, I was released from that promise. That is what, yeah, so that's what the Buddha said. Then, understanding this matter, the Buddha expressed his joy through this statement. Yassa nittinno panko, when a mendicant has crossed over the bog, maddito kama khandako, who has crushed the thorn of sensuality, who has reached the end of delusion, moha kayang anupatto, trembles not at plus pleasure and pain. Sukha dukkhesu na vedhati sabhikhuti. He is known as a monk. Now, uh, to be a monk is one thing. To actually experience the freedom of the mind comes through knowing the true nature of sukha and dukkha, happiness and pain. Knowing that happiness arises based on conditions, knowing that pain also arises based on conditions, and it's not done by you. And in other words, we we tend to think that all these defilements or painful experiences are done by us or we can control these things, except that the truth is that longer you try to control it, more suffering it brings to us. So there is greater escape for all of us here through being through releasing our mind from the five obstacles here, the hindrances, and reaching to a stable, greater space. And there's greater happiness that you can experience. Actually, the freedom from five defilements is not just freedom there, it is called the first jhana, first level of understanding, first escape to stability. And is there a greater escape from that too? Of course, the second jhana. There, happiness arises from tranquility. And is there a greater escape? Yes. There is equanimity in the third jhana. Equanimity because that happiness in the second jhana disappears, but your mind is equanimous, which is felt physically as a pleasurable experience. And is there a greater escape? Yes. The fourth jhana, where you have mindfulness and further purity of your equanimity, long lasting equanimity. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Mental uh, infinite space experience. This is a base we experience. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Knowing that there is infinite consciousness. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Nothingness. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Neither perception nor non-perception. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Cessation from all those experiences. And is there a greater escape? Yes. Nibbana. Knowing the truth about that cessation and self and non-self and suffering and happiness. Is there a greater escape? No. Nibbana is the escape, the asankha, the unconditioned reality that humans can experience here and now. So Nanda experienced that. And the reason I bring this to the discussion today is a friend of mine um, discussed about infatuation, how time to time um, infatuation seems to be a pattern of the mind, that we get attached to one person and dreams about this person and builds unrealistic expectations about this person, and that person, while not knowing any of this, has a life of his own, sleeps, eats, and they they don't even know this is happening. And look, who is suffering here is the person who is infatuated with it. And this state uh, is called mind getting hijacked by um, what? By attachment. Hormones play a huge role. Mind can uh, get hijacked by hormones as well. This is like teenagers. And because of this infatuation, when this love is not reciprocated, people choose two different ways. One person may choose to attack the person and be jealous when that person is happy with somebody else. Be the other direction is be happy that you loved this person and you can still love this person while you are not the person who is going to live the life with this person. And that is unconditional love. That is wisdom. That is maturity. That is knowing the truth about the nature of the mind. When love is not reciprocated, it's totally fine. We need to normalize it. We need to let that person go. And if you are happy when that person is happy with somebody else, there's greater happiness there. Say you are, in a situation where you have chosen to love a person, uh, whether in university life, college life, or life here, whatever life, work life, and that love is not reciprocated, is totally fine. You don't have to blame yourself for it. That you may not be compatible in this life right now. Maybe you felt this way because of the way your mind is behaving. You can work on yourself, exercise, work out, do things that matter, that are important, that you can give love to yourself, and you are a happy person. That way you don't suffer along this experience. You see what I'm saying? That building our own self uh, is also a form of love. When love falls out of your experience, you can, or when you are not being loved by the person you try to love, it's totally fine. You come back, you build yourself, you are happy, you don't suffer. Suffering lives in you temporarily and it will disappear. And no soon you will see uh, you are being discovered by the right person or not, because you are a good person for yourself. You are happy when that does not happen. You don't have to have a second person to feel complete. Although it is a thing that they say you are born half and you will be looking for the other half in your life. And even if you don't, and that is okay. I'm saying this because someone in the audience is going to college and may find somebody and it's totally may not be your goal, uh, or if that happens, it's totally fine, but you build yourself to be a complete loving person to yourself so that you are very strong whether or not you are loved. Okay, that's all for today. Any questions? No questions. Any questions from Zoom? All right. Sorry to bring love to this discussion, not to put you into an uncomfortable place, but to just discuss about it with the base, with an understanding of the Nanda Sutta. All right, let's share merits. May all beings be happy. May suffering ones be suffering free and fear struck fearless be. May grieving shed all grief and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect you and protect the teachings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May good things happen to you. May no harm come to you. May the influence of malignant beings does not affect you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you rejoice in your own good karma. Um, may you be blessed in all walks of your life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Therwan Sarnai,
Therwan Sarnai, good night.
Recording stop.